The power to charm and attract people by inspiring devotion in them is what I call charisma. Now take a moment and think about that one person you have met in the past and got drawn in instantly. Ask yourself, what was it about that person that drew you in? And secondly, what made that interaction so memorable? Now imagine if you could turn your power switch on at will and inspire people and make a lasting impression on them. How would that make you feel? Great, won't it? Gentlemen, in this video you will learn the 5 habits of charismatic people that will instantly cultivate your own charismatic persona. Remember, charismatic people were not born charismatic, they learned it and in time mastered the essence of charisma. You too can do the same and in the process inspire an aura of intrigue and enthrall about your personality. Without further ado, let's get into it. Tip number 1. Charismatic people live in the present moment. The most important aspect of possessing a charismatic personality is to live in the present moment. One thing charismatic people are good at, which sets them apart, is their ability to remain focused on the present moment, which is quite evident from their body language too. They will give you their full attention, which is why you will love interacting with them. So the next time you are having a conversation with someone, try practicing presence by giving your full attention, even if it is for a minute. In time, you will realize it has become second nature. Tip number 2. Charismatic people are conscious of negativity. Start saying positive things. Have you come across people who are always complaining and moaning about anything and everything? They fill the air with negativity, which eventually drives people away. Charismatic people, however, are conscious of the effects of negativity and remain positive in all situations. They are particularly careful with their word choice and are aware of the power of spoken words, which can be detrimental when used negatively or extremely powerful when used constructively. So begin to choose your words consciously and practice saying positive things only. Bear in mind, whatever you say after I am is a reflection of your thought, which clearly depicts your state of mind. Create a charismatic personality by saying positive words. Tip number 3. Charismatic people have a role model. We all need inspiration from time to time. It is particularly in our darkest days that we crave for an ounce of motivation. Having a role model gives you just that, an ideal to look up to. Depression makes you look down, an ideal makes you look up, which is why it is imperative to have a role model. Charismatic people have this role model figure in their mind, which they strive to emulate and copy to become better at their craft. So aspire to become charismatic by emulating charismatic personalities and choose them as your role model. By having a success model in front of you, it will be easier to carve out your own charismatic persona. Tip number 4. Charismatic people emanate strong body language. Use power poses. Your facial expressions, hand gestures, voice tonality, eye contact, body posture all make up your body language. It is interesting to note here that in a single day we convey far more information through our body language than we do so with words, which begs the question, is body language more important than verbal communication? To answer that, let's look at the findings of an MIT Media Lab study, which concluded that it could predict the outcome of negotiations, telephone sales calls, and business plan pitches with 87% accuracy simply by analyzing participants' body language without listening to a single word of content. This is absolutely correct, as our body language accurately telegraphs our internal state. What we feel is what we emanate through our body language. Charismatic people emanate strong body language by making subtle physiological changes to boost their inner state, thereby exhibiting confidence, self-reliance, and conviction. One way to boost confidence instantly is to emanate power through your body, also called the power pose. This is what a power pose looks like. Yes, yes, or you could stand like that. A power pose induces behavioral changes and affects your physiological state by boosting the testosterone level by 20%. This biochemical boost in turn gives you the much needed confidence. So boost your energy levels up by assuming expensive power poses. In time, you will be exuding more charisma than you have ever had. Tip number 5. Charismatic people have good eye contact. Be expressive with your eyes. Bill Clinton. He is the only person that comes to mind who could make the other person across him feel the most important person in the room merely with his eye contact. He has used this technique with such finesse that people have genuinely considered him the most charismatic person in the world. Charismatic people have this ability of focusing on the other person and engaging them with their eye contact for the entire duration of the interaction. This makes other people feel privileged, allowing them to open up and interact with you more freely. Conversely, have you come across people who while interacting with you were looking everywhere but you? How did that make you feel? Not important, right? Scanning the room while talking to someone is disrespectful, least of all charismatic. So the next time you are interacting with someone, make good eye contact and hold that connection for at least a minute. On a subconscious level, it will create trust in the other person and you will come off as confident. While maintaining eye contact, cultivate a narrow gaze. Don't go bug-eyed on someone. A narrow gaze is powerful in men since a heavy brow is associated with higher testosterone levels. A good way to do this is to practice your gaze using your eye muscles in the mirror. Once you develop the ability to coordinate your emotional expressions with your eyes, you will have no problem turning on your power switch to charm anyone at will. There you have it, gentlemen, the top 5 habits of charismatic people. With practice, you can create powerful habits to exude strong body language. Remember, charisma can be learned, so start practicing now and master the art of social interaction by being more charismatic. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe.